Chip.
Okay, it is 6:00 p.m. on Tuesday, December 9th, 2025. We will call the common council meeting to order. Let's stand and say the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call, please.
Varga.
Here.
Romano. Here. Weigel.
Here.
Bachman.
Here.
Adamson.
Here.
In front of you are the minutes from our last meeting on November 25th. Were there any changes or corrections? Hearing none, can I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Jennifer, second by Tad. Further discussion. All those in favor show up by the usual sign. Brent, Tad, Jennifer, and Dan approve, and Ryan abstains because he was on council then. Thank you. Next up is the 2025 utility write-off or suspension list. You can see there's the different categories of bankrupt, deceased, and then other suspended accounts. OVB is Ordinance Violation Bureau / parking, but I think it's not just that. I think it's, actually there's nobody under that, is there? I'm sorry, I was misreading that. There's nobody under OVB or parking. It is, the rest of them are under suspended accounts, so. So effectively, this is a write-off that we do yearly of accounts that either, again, have declared bankruptcy, individuals that have become deceased, or accounts that are suspended for the purposes you can see on the right-hand side there. So, you have anything you want to add to that?
No, I'll just say that the girls are doing a great job, and if we're not collecting on it, Marcia's doing a great job in helping us to get, the accounts up to date. And we are revising like applications just to make sure that Marcia has everything if it does go to her. So Marcia's been a great partner in making sure we're getting things going in that direction.
Compared to last year?
It says on the side, so you'll see,
okay.
like last year,
Oh, okay,
we had
sorry.
almost 1,200 in bankrupt write-offs. We're down to 438. And then you can see in the debt and the deceased, it was like 32 and it's down to 19.
I was gonna say, I thought it looked better.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like $2,000 less for the suspended accounts.
And I think if you keep in mind that there's, millions of dollars that process through the utility department, having, $5,000, if you will, in the suspended accounts and another $438 in bankrupt, and then about $2,000 in deceased. I mean, that's pretty impressive in the millions of dollars that are processed through. So, so with that, any questions from the council? Okay, hearing none, can I have a motion to approve these write-offs?
So moved. Second.
Motion by Brent, second by Tad. Further discussion. All those in favor show by the usual sign. It is unanimous. Next up is board and committee assignments or appointments. There's a couple of different appointments. These are all appointments
That Jenny was on.
that Jenny was on. So these are all council appointments. So Wellness Committee takes place on the third Wednesday of the month at 8 a.m.
8 a.m. here in City Hall.
Here in this, in this room. Solid Waste Board is, I think now every other month on the first Monday. I think it's the first Monday every other month, so the next meeting will be in January. That's over at the County Government Center. And the board position there is for a council member from the largest municipality. So I also serve on that board, but a council member is on that board. And then Trash Committee is really more of an ad hoc committee. It's something where if there's a trash situation, meaning that there's a policy change or something we need to address, or contractual matter, we have the Trash Committee, but generally speaking, there's like barely any meetings for that. So Ryan, I don't know if any of those, again, this is council decision, but I don't know if any of those trip your fancy, or if you'd like to take any of those on or not. So
I'll take them all if nobody else wants them.
What time does Solid Waste Board meet?
Solid Waste Board meets at 9 a.m. over in the County Government Center. Like I said, every other month. It's usually about an hour or less long meeting. And that is, we review, obviously, so we handle the budget for the solid waste district, we oversee the compensation of employees, we obviously handle the contractual matter with GFL, which is our current recycling contractor. We handle policies and procedures when it comes to the bins, the actual recycling bins that are actually owned by the solid waste district, not by the contractor. And then we also have we have a county board that's made up of some individuals that is kind of like our go-between board, because we're a quasi-governmental agency. And then we also have a citizen advisory committee or committee, I think, that kind of gives suggestions and opinions about recycling in Whitley County, So, everyone okay with Ryan taking those three?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, so you wanna make a
I'll
motion?
make a motion that Ryan accepts the positions of Wellness Committee, Solid Waste Board, and Trash Committee as we have presented it to him.
Okay. Have a-
Second.
Okay, so Dan motions, Tad seconds, further discussion. All those in favor show by the usual sign. Brent and Tad and Jennifer and Dan approve, Ryan abstains. So, thank you, Ryan, for being willing to fill
Can you
those.
email me the times of those?
Yes, I can make sure, actually, can we make sure we do that? I'll
Yeah.
make a note, but make sure you remind
I'll have
us.
Beth get you added to the wellness one, and you'll get the email from Beth
Okay.
to your city email.
And I'll make a note to make sure.
Okay.
For Ryan. Okay. Okay, thank you. Department reports, we'll start with Tom.
Well, I did go check the email to you, and it did not go through. Matter of fact, my report file actually reverted back to the last meeting, so I apologize for that. 107 is back in service and in the firehouse. All equipment, knock on wood, is in service and functioning correctly, so we'll go with that for now. Our department evals went well so far. I've got them all done except for 3.5. The half is one of the guys will have to complete his goal sheet and sign his acknowledgement of goals. So the other 3 will be done this week. Everything's going very well, and I commend my guys for making it that way. They work hard to make sure things go well for our department. So that's it.
Questions of Tom? Thank you. Carrie?
All major projects for the year done, so now it's just day-to-day stuff that's keeping me busy with the computers and cell phones, security cameras, etc.
Your chance. Questions of
I
Terry?
just got an email.
Okay.
It's the sales pitch.
Okay.
Christmas Eve at the Courthouse Square, 6 to 8 is our annual candy giveaway. It's been going on for, best we can track, somewhere around 150 years. So if you get an opportunity, do a drive-through and to answer some questions on some emails the mayor's been getting on why we have not reverted back to the in the courthouse candy giveaway like it used to be in years past. It was during COVID. We went to the outside, of course, for separation. We got more community involvement, and it actually is easier to set up. So for those 2 reasons, we've left it outside. So,
Do you have enough stuff to pass out, or do you need any,
I'm sorry?
do you have enough stuff to pass out? Is that ever an issue? Do you need donations?
We're always taking donations, and the Community Foundation holds that account. There was a very generous donation made years ago that almost has us, if not all the way paid for annually, to do this. So we are always adding to that, though, when we do get generations, to make sure that, because the cost of candy has been going up and up at an exponential rate. So we're always taking donations, but we're always putting it over into that account to keep up with the cost of inflation. So
So fund at the community foundation, if someone wants to make donations, can donate through there.
they can donate through there or give it to the fire department, and then we give it to the foundation. It's going to end up there anyway. So yes,
Thank you.
yes, thank you.
Any other questions? Thank you. Mike? Yes.
Received the commissioning and seal test and warranty letters on a Dysor project. So we're all wrapped up with that. We will do a leak test and go along and torque all the nuts around the bottom of it. And there's about 300 of them, so that'll take a little bit of time to do that, to make sure that's still good. We'll do that on a 30-day, and then if we have anything, there are issues of small leaks that we found during our test, we'll do that again in January. And see, the SDI force main has been cleaned for the last time for this year, and a couple more evals to write, and we'll be done with that.
And the dice store project in general, remind me what the cost of that was, what, around 2 million?
Yes.
The dice store and the digester cleaning and the lining and all that stuff.
And then getting the storage tank in, back in running shape, so we had a place to put sludge. So yeah, we're probably right at the 2 million mark.
Yep. Yep. Okay. Questions of Mike? Thank you. Chip?
Oh, can you come back to me? Give
I
me a
cannot,
second.
you can go ahead.
We put out RFQs for the amphitheater, and we received 4 companies that would like to be the build, operate, transfer for that. So this week, we're gonna review those and hopefully pick one, hopefully. I also put out a request for proposals for the jail, and I do have a couple interested, and I know the mayor made some better connections today, so hopefully by February, we are not paying the utility bills on that.
Still paying them, but still.
Everything else is going very smooth, just kind of rolling into the first of the year.
Yep. Question of Chip? Thank you. Mike Shota?
The week before Thanksgiving, we took the south tower offline, drained it, and Leary Construction came in and washed it out, and then we filled it back up. Well, you have to have 2 bacteria samples before you can open it back up and use it. Well, it was full, no water movement. Guess what? It got cold, so we were coming in the next weekend and dumping water and then filling it back up so we had some movement because it couldn't go out the system. And then as of, I think it was Wednesday of the following week, we were allowed to open it up and use it and didn't have to dump anymore. But there was about 4 or 5 days there where we were just dumping water and filling it back up to keep it from freezing.
Just keep it. Unexpected freezing temperatures.
Yeah.
Questions of Mike? Thank you. Sean?
Well, just to echo what Leslie had said and Dan had said, so far at the end of October, electric department had done $11.1 million in sales. And so to have that's just the electric.
Yep.
Wastewater and water also on top of that. So just to have that many unclaimed or unpaid, that's pretty great work by Marcia.
Yep.
Also, so we're still working on pole changes. We're clear out on Brown Road now, which is out there a ways, towards the end of our lines, but we still have probably 60 to 70 poles out in the country in the second phase to change out. We've been working on inventory the last couple days. We don't usually get to it in December because the weather is usually a lot better than it has been recently. And so the last time we had a pole hit last week, we ended up burying our truck in the ditch. So we're trying not to do too much alongside the road while they're trying to plow the roads. But we did get it out, thanks to Blue Eagle, by the way. Shout out to them, great job they did for us on that project. I had the pleasure of speaking with the 8th grade class yesterday at Indian Springs Middle School about jobs at the city, the trades, how to become a lineman, what it looks like to be a lineman, what it looks like to work for the city. Had Dwayne Richard from the IMEA came along at the end to kind of promote the new lineman training school that he's starting. So it went really well. Most of the kids stayed awake, I think. So anyway, they have asked us to come back and do some more presentations, so that's good. So other than that, just day-to-day work orders.
Questions of Sean? Thank you. Matt?
We stopped doing the water line down to the dog park because of weather and the snow. We've been keeping everything plowed out. Been checking on heaters to make sure things not freezing up, especially in the police training facility there. We took down a pool motor to Indianapolis to Cook Electric to get rebuilt. before next pool season. And the ladies are starting to get father-daughter dance items bought and around for that. And the tickets go on sale, the mayor corrected me, and he's right, at January 2nd is when they go on sale.
Questions on that? Thank you. Charlotte, you want to introduce yourself and talk about the youth council?
I'm Charlotte Mazora and I'm a sophomore. We started off our last council meeting just planning some more details with our pickleball tournament that we're planning and just brainstorming some more ideas. And then we volunteered at Autumn Trace, the senior communities, and played bingo with them. And then at the end of our day, we toured the new jail.
Questions of Charlotte? Thank you. Leslie?
Well, I won't brag again, but I did forget to mention in the Board of Works meeting, we did hear Thursday evening that we did not get approved for the tax appeal. I fought it and we got a response back and
Fought it again.
yeah, so
Because it wasn't even a technicality, it was a decision literally on the hundredths of a point.
it was a rounding.
It was a rounding thing where we rounded one way, they rounded a different way, which is, it's idiotic, but whatever.
So I've sent it to Crow just as, because they're the ones that helped us put it together, so just as a, hey, can you explain further? But in talking with Nathan last week at Crow, he did say that every municipality that he works with, they're getting denied as well. So it just wasn't us that got denied.
So that's $200,000 that we won't have in next year.
297,000 to be exact.
$300,000 we won't have in next year's budget.
So, yeah.
So now let's keep the fun parade going and talk about the fact that we didn't get funded for community crossings this year,
Yeah.
this coming year. They had $247 million of requests and had $100 million to give away, which is less than they've had in the last couple of years. The legislature cut that in at least half. So the plan was to do phase 3 of Westgate. I did post on the Westgate Facebook page that we did not get funded with community crossings, and so we're having to go back to the drawing board to see kind of where we're gonna be at. So I told our team that after the first of the year, we'll get back together and kind of figure out the plan forward of how we want to use, road paving dollars next year, and what we want to do with Westgate, and of course that jeopardizes what we're going to do with downtown revitalization, and there's a whole cascade of issues there. So, so those are maybe the negative things that have hit over the last week. And of course, both came from the state. So, a couple other things though, on a positive note, I will say, we did have our comprehensive plan meeting. I don't know if you want to talk at all about that. So, I think it went really well. We have a draft, I won't say a draft plan, but we went through some of the draft items, the additions or the changes to the current plan, as well as the additions to add, because we've accomplished, I think, 60-some% of the actual plan that we had 10 years ago. So we'll kind of be putting that draft together. Obviously, as always, you guys will get a presentation on that and those kind of things. So that's, I think, going pretty well. We do have, as mentioned, we have evaluations that are happening right now, and apparently Leslie has finished all of hers. I've done one of 11, if that tells you where I'm at. But ultimately, we have that going on basically across the city, generally speaking. A couple of different projects we're working with high schoolers on. One is it daffodils, Matt?
Yes.
Daffodils at Eagle Park that were planted in memory of Kim Carnes. There's a group working with the high school. They were supposed to be transplanting bulbs. Obviously, the snowfall put a kibosh to that. So once spring breaks, I think they will be moving the daffodils out to Indian Springs, so it's still at the school campus kind of a scenario. Because I think there's a couple of different memory garden things out there. So that's been approved by the school, and we were perfectly fine with that as well. There's another group that's working on some kind of an amnesty box of sorts that will help individuals that are, kids especially, that are struggling with certain kinds of addictions and stuff. So they're working with that. Our part is because we have an SRO out there, obviously, so, working with them through that. As a reminder, our next council meeting will not be on the 23rd, it will instead be on the 30th. So, that's my reminder. Last thing I want to say, or I want to ask, I guess, I want to ask for your blessing on, as you guys are all well aware, from a budgetary standpoint, we did not approve any wage increases for next year because of being down 400 and some $1,000, if you will, from this year to next year. However, because of the stewardship of our department heads, and a lot of us, we will have kind of a surplus at the end of the year. And by surplus, I mean we'll have accounts that will have dollars still left in them. So in lieu of having a wage increase next year, Leslie and I have had conversations, and what we'd like to propose is maybe doing a $1,000 across the board bonus for all of our staff, because we're not giving a wage increase next year. It's our way of kind of giving them an increase without it being on next year's budget. So yes, it's definitely a budget maneuver, but it's a way in which we can, again, show our appreciation for our employees. So that's kind of, we've worked out numbers, we have the dollars available, we anticipate having the dollars available there. But I usually put out a Christmas letter, if you will, to everybody to say, hey, here's where we're at, here's the end of the year kind of thing. And so that's why I'm coming to you now. Also, at the next meeting, we'll have the true up at the end of the year with all the budget accounts and stuff. So, so that's why I guess I kind of wanted to ask for your blessing or at least get your approval in some way, shape, or form on that, if that's possible. So.
Yeah, I feel like if we have it, since we have it, a little bit of a surplus, I think our employees deserve that. For all the work and time they put into it, especially since we're not giving out raises for next year. I think that's an added thank you to what they put into us, because without them, we don't have much of anything. I also think that needs to include the clerk and mayor also in that. I don't think we need it, because I know what we're making pretty good. I don't think that should go to the council, but I do think that the staff and all of our people deserve to have that, and especially all the work that the mayor and our lovely clerk does, and staff, making sure everything's balanced and stuff. I can't imagine what that's like, but I'd like to include them in with it, along with all of our other employees. That's just my thought.
That's one of your feelings.
So personally, I'm kind of on the fence about it. I mean, I think it's great to give bonuses to employees and stuff, but I know coming from fiscally from like a business standpoint, we would, like what we would do, we would probably roll that over and keep it in our coffers for the next year in case there's a shortfall in the future. So therefore we have that as cash flow to run things. So, cause I don't know what it's gonna be like next year.
Sure.
If we lost 400,000 this year,
Yeah.
can we project out what the cash flow is gonna be the following year?
That
was just my concern. I'm not saying no, but that's just my concern.
I'll try to answer your question, and that is that, from the state, so the state did this projection based on Senate Enrolled Act 1, and they're saying, this year is kind of the biggest hit, if you will, this coming year is the biggest hit when it comes to the property tax side. The other hit will come in the income tax side in the 2028 time period. The only caveat I'm going to put on that, though, is that AIM is already working to mitigate some of those challenges in 2028, 29, et cetera, for the income tax piece. So I'm hopeful that we can mitigate the issues on the income tax side. The property tax side is kind of already hit. And we are projected from a property tax side to have increases, or have at least slower increases in the future compared to what we had previously. The income tax side is the big question mark right now. So I get it. I mean, obviously you well know, and again, I'm not trying to push back, but you well know that in the, we set our budget in June, July, we approve it in September, and, I don't know that, well, in fact, officially speaking, probably this next week, we'll get our actual dollar figure from the state, and they'll say, okay, this is officially the dollars that you have in the budget. So, obviously, my caveat to all that I said is that assuming that things go the way we think they're gonna go, that's what my question would be.
Sure.
I mean, I do respect what you said there, I think, I understand where you're coming from, I do.
Yeah. I mean, like, in my business, we don't have money. We don't have money.
Yeah.
We can't
Yeah.
just like pull it from
Yep. I hear you.
somewhere.
Just a reminder too, when we set budget, and I've learned this year, we always go in high. So some of our payroll accounts, there's a lot of funds still left in those accounts. So because we do project higher than normal, that's what leaves us with that overage amount.
Can I add something?
Yeah.
I agree with Dan, I don't want it, so I would be in agreement it doesn't come to us. Is there a possibility, once the figures come back, that they can get more, or are you tapped out at $1,000 per employee?
So I think, when we first, well, I would say when the two of us first started talking about it, it was kind of we were on the fence about whether 5,000 or 1,000, I'm sorry, try again. 500 or 1,000 was the right amount. And again, I think so Leslie and Rosie have went through the accounts and kind of seen what we anticipate having at the end of the year from a cash standpoint. And so I don't know that I'd recommend more than that, purely because I do want to roll some cash over into next year. So I guess I should have been clear, Tad, with you, is to say, this doesn't tap us out when it comes to cash for next year. We are going to roll cash into next year, but we just wouldn't roll as much. So again, keep in mind, we have about 100 employees, so you can do the quick math. I think, when it comes to with the taxes and stuff, it ends up being about $107,000 is what the expenditure of $1,000 per employee is, per full-time employee.
Sure.
So, that sort of answer your question,
Yeah,
Ryan?
and same with Tad, from a business owner, I ask our accountant, hey, can we, down the road, can we afford A, B, and C?
Yeah.
And if he gives the blessing,
Yeah.
and then we don't have the money down the road, I'll go back to my accountant and ask what the
I
problem
think
is.
that's
So, if you guys say that we have plenty, then we have plenty. I mean, I think they deserve it too. I think they deserve more, but I understand that you have to be prudent, especially when you're cutting back on things, so.
I think it also helps us understand that we still are rolling money in over to next year. I think that helps.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's my understanding as well, after you explain yours.
Yeah.
So I would still, unless there's further discussion, I would,
I'm a firm believer that
Grant and Jennifer.
our employees are a great investment. So I think this is a great idea.
Jennifer, do you have a opinion?
I would rather do something for the employees than nothing.
I would make the motion, if that's what you need.
Okay. So make the motion to approve $1,000 bonus
That's right.
end of this year for
Second.
full-time employees?
With the caveat that you look at, when the numbers come back to you, and you say we have to look
Yes.
right?
Yeah, that we have the money,
Yes.
sure. And just to be clear, I always feel weird in these conversations, but does that include Dan's of the
It's
two
$2,000.
full-time elected officials?
Yeah, it's $2,000. I don't think that's.
Okay. I just want to make sure in your, again, I always feel odd and weird about this whole situation, so appreciate it. I have a motion by Ryan, second by Brent. Further discussion? All those in favor, show by the usual sign. It is unanimous. Thank you for your support on that. I did forget to mention, and Leslie sent me a note, and I completely forgot, because it's sitting right here. We are having 4 new police officers starting on Monday, which is great. They did finally pass the perk process, which was extraordinarily longer than we expected. We also have, I think on the 23rd, we have a lateral interview. We did accept applications for laterals, and I think we do have at least one lateral interview happening there. Again, trying to fill those open slots with the right person, not just a warm body, but the right person. So, with that, Dan.
just want to welcome Mr. Adams.
Yes.
Council, that's a great thing, looking forward to working with you, and grateful that you're here. So, other than that, Merry Christmas.
Hey, Mayor.
Christmas decorating is going on for you, so. Other than that, I'm done.
Thank you, Dan. Yes.
For clarification purposes, those are replacements, not new positions.
Yes, those are replacements, not
Mhm.
new positions, yes.
Mhm.
Thank you, yes. Jennifer?
I would like to thank everyone who participated in helping to bring off the parade this year.
Yes.
Um,
Cold but great.
Cold but great. Those being the street department, electric department, police department, maybe fire department.
They were asleep.
Like that.
At any rate.
They were there. I don't know that they had a flow, but they were there. Yes.
But thanks to everybody who was involved in that, it made it really great for the community, and also great to get Santa's House open this year. So thanks to the clerk treasurer's office for various things related to that. Happy to have that going. We are working on judging right now for the district municipal lighting contests. If anyone wants to send through any excellent looking displays in their neighborhood, as long as you're not an elected official. I mean, you can send through a suggestion.
You
but
can send
maybe
those
you're
suggestions.
Also, just an FYI, we do try to mix it up every year so that the same people aren't winning years and years in a row, and make it something that lots of people can participate in. And we do like Crazy Christmas, so
By we, you mean you.
yeah. So go over the top, it will get your attention. Yeah.
Thank you.
Oh, and I don't know if you've seen it yet, but the Arts Commission calendars are back and are out there. They've started to get distributed. They were at the museum during Mirror Museum Christmas last Friday, and lots of them got handed out there, so.
Good, that's great.
We're also partnering with the local radio station, 91.5, WJHS, and they will be doing a little feature on historic Whitley County artists every month
Ah,
in 2026.
great,
So,
that's fantastic.
yeah. And it's not just like fine arts, it's all kinds of things, so
Okay.
it should be very interesting.
Art in the well-rounded
Yes.
name.
Yes, we tried to be inclusive.
Very good. Thank you, Jennifer.
Thanks.
Tad?
We had redevelopment today. A lot of, actually, most of the things we've been working on, we're still working on. Right, Chip?
Yes,
I noticed we didn't get a
we
report. on-
run in place.
Yeah. 2 steps forward, 1 step back. So that's pretty much
I
it.
will mention on there, I should have mentioned, I have had 2 different apartment builders that have came to me wanting to do a project in Columbia City. And I know, I'm pretty confident at least one has filed to be on the planning commission meeting in January. There's another one that's working, that's probably gonna need a voluntary super voluntary annexation of a couple of parcels. But I think they'll be very, I think, again, both are market rate, both are non-subsidized from a federal government standpoint. They will need some infrastructure dollars, and so we may do a TIF district, which is why I'm tagging this on to Tad's.
I didn't know if you
comments
wanted to bring
about
that up.
redevelopment commission.
and-
So,
yeah.
yeah, so there's definitely interest in the community, or in investing in our community, let's say it that way, and we're talking obviously tens of millions of dollars in investment. So, more to come on that, but, they are kind of laying the groundwork for the potential projects.
Do you have any sense of how much housing that
Well,
It's yet to be determined.
it is, I mean, so
They have
there's
not
some.
filed, they have not filed yet, but they're
Yes.
planning on filing, and we
Yes.
have not seen the
Yes,
final.
so there's preliminary estimates to me, but I'd be hesitant to uncover that yet because they haven't made their final yet, so, yeah. But it's gonna be in the hundreds,
Okay.
yes, so, yeah. Thanks for, Tad.
Nope.
Thanks for that report, appreciate that. Bring
Thanks for,
No problem, buddy,
on my
I got your back. Right.
I don't really have much. I was just gonna kind of say that there are a couple city projects that are
Yeah.
kind of coming through our office and doing some research and stuff on those that aren't quite there yet.
Yep.
We're gonna be seeing something there soon.
Yeah. Appreciate that.
And the parade was fun. I got to be in the parade.
Ah.
Yeah, I walked it.
Santa.
I wasn't Santa. But I was chasing my daughter down as she was throwing out candy canes.
Nice.
It was an adventure, but it was,
Nice. That's
it was
awesome.
lovely. It was fun. It was good seeing as many people out as there were. It was a good time.
With the temperatures, it was
Yeah.
just a great turnout. I
Yeah.
really was. It's just, it has become a tradition. So congratulations to you and your team on making this a tradition. I think it's awesome. Yeah.
It's the coolest moment to be standing down there.
Oh, I
and
can't
all
believe
like
it. Yep.
groups together.
Yep, I was standing on the other side of the street, but still listen to everybody count and to see the magic of the
Yeah.
tree coming on and stuff was just really great, so.
Really went through the magic dust this year.
Yeah. Appreciate that. Anything else, Frank?
No, that's it.
Ryan,
Yeah,
Sir,
welcome, glad to have you on.
absolutely.
We have no press and no audience. We will call the meeting adjourned, thank you.
We're no longer here.